And as I mentioned, everything you write, it should be in the test folder. So right click on the test, click on new, and if you get a file here, click on file. If not, click on other, and in the other, go to general and select file and click on next. You will be displayed with this window. The name of the file, you can give anything which is relevant to the project. Here I can say my Gmail, but make sure the extension should always be .feature. Okay, the extension should always be .feature. The file name can be anything. Just observe when I click on finish, what happens. Right? Default content is being displayed here with the default template saying, see, the comments start with the hash. Mentioned about the template, and it talks about the scenarios, examples. If you want, you can follow this, or you can delete and write your own. So I'm removing this. Okay. Now, if you observe closely here, for the file, I have one icon. This icon is coming because we have used, or we have configured one thing called as the Cucumber Eclipse plugin. Because of this, and make sure you should have .feature, then this will be displayed. What this icon is, what is the benefit you have? Let's go ahead and see. If you want, you can start with the comment. Say Gmail application login logout automation. Always comments are important because someone who wants to refer to the code, it will be easy for them to understand what this does. And the rules which we have followed is, first thing should be the feature, right? See, feature, whenever I say colon and says what happened, whenever I say colon, the color has changed for the feature file, because this is happening, the code color change, because I've installed the Eclipse plugin. So if at all, if you do any typo mistakes, you can basically correct this. But even if you doesn't have that plugin, still that's okay, but this is how it is good to see and understand. So let me go ahead and write Gmail application followed by I have scenario colon. See, scenario also got changed to the color. It's a Gmail login. Now let me go ahead and write the test cases. Given open URL, then see, every annotation or every keyword, it is changing the color when compared to the other ones. Open URL, then enter user ID, then enter password and click on login is one scenario. Second scenario is scenario. What is the second scenario? It is Gmail close, and I'll use here and close browser. Right? This is the feature file which we have created. And now when I save this, I'm getting some warning messages, and all these statements are highlighted. So what the warning says? It says step open URL does not have a matching glue code. So it is basically saying you have this statement or this method or this function, but this step basically doesn't have any respective method or code or functionality which is not associated. So now it's time for us to understand about the step definition. So basically what this step definition contains. So this step definition is basically a Java class, and also the runner class is also a Java class, and this is a dot feature file. So what this step definition contain? Basically, step definition contain the actual automation code. Like our example is logging into Gmail. So opening a browser, entering the user ID, entering the password, click on login and close browser. All the automation code for this particular scenario, we need to write it in a Java file, and that file we call it as a step definition file. And we can have different step definition files in your project. As of considering this video, we are just going with the basic stuff, so we are maintaining only one feature file, one step definition and a runner class. In the advanced videos, I'll also talk about the more advanced topics on parameterizing the users. We'll talk about it in the upcoming videos. As of now, for this, assume we will have, just remember, we have actual code, automation code here. So as I said, this is a Java class. So some Java class, right? You will have something called as public static some void class name. Say suppose we'll write the class name as step definition. Assume we have a class name with step definition. Assume this is the class I have. So now within this class, what I should have is, for each of these respective steps, this is one step, this is second one, this is third one, this is fourth, and this is fifth. For each of this, it should have the respective method. That's what it is saying, right? So when you go here, OpenURL does not have any matching glue code. So how to match this? Basically, for each of the steps you should have the respective method for that. Say public void. First thing what you have to do is, so you can write any of the function name as anything, but good practice is to have the step name as the method name so that it will be easy to understand. If you write OpenURL function names, no space is allowed. So instead what I'll do is I'll just type it as underscore. Okay, this is the function name, and this will have the code to open URL. Right? We will write the Selenium code, obj, create an object and all. So as this is an open URL, to have the relation between this one, this step and this step, we need to map something, which is what we have given. The annotation is given, right? Say just type @given, and within the braces and within the double quotes, just write whatever you have written in the step name. It should be exactly the case sensitive. And before the starting of the statement, use cap, and after the end of the statement, use dollar, which says starting and ending of the statement. So now this is mapped to the respective one. So similarly, we need to write for other thing as well. So just taking an example for next one, it should be @then, and within the double quotes, open cap and close with dollar, you have enter user ID, right? And it should be the exact match, and followed by you have public void, type enter underscore user underscore ID, and you will have the code for entering user ID. So similarly, now this is mapped to this one. So now you will get a question. Say now I have 5 steps, we can write 5. But say suppose in a scenario I have some 40 or 50. You will lose a lot of time writing this, right? You should have for each of the mapping. No, basically we are not going to write everything like this. This I've just given you as a concept so that you will understand. But there is a shortcut which we will use. Not exactly a shortcut, but a reverse engineering. So first we will execute, we will get the error. From the error we will catch. We'll talk about it uh, on how to implement this, very soon. So now we need to go ahead and implement the step definition. Just before getting into the step definition, let's understand about the pom.xml. So let's go to the pom.xml. I clicked on the pom.xml. Here I have a tab called as pom.xml. Here so we have dependencies, we have dependency hierarchy. Here we have one tab called as pom.xml. We have something called as effective pom and pom.xml. We need to navigate to pom.xml. If you come here, this is the default template which is created by the Maven project. We don't need to bother about this. It creates by default. It took the project name and it took the project ID, group ID, artifact ID, and by default one dependency is added here. So basically, what are these dependencies? If you're normally creating a Java project, then what you will do? You to assign the jars in a WebDriver jars, you will right click on the project. See, this is the Java project. You will right click here, click on properties. You will go to build path, libraries, add external jars, and you will assign all these jars, whatever the jars are available. Right? Instead, what we can do is we can create a Maven project and add dependencies. So whenever we run these dependencies, based on these dependencies, required jar files or required methods or functions will be called from the internet. So now the next question is, what are the required jar files you need to complete a Cucumber framework? See, these are the 5 dependencies which you need to add. The Maven Java JUnit dependency comes by default, right? See, this is the default. See, whatever the dependency is there, that should be within the dependency stack. You have dependency, group ID, artifact ID, version, scope. So how you can get these dependencies? If you observe here, I have kept one link at the bottom. Let's go here. See, open MVN repository. Just open this repository and here just type the jar files whichever is required for us. So the first one what you need is JUnit. JUnit is by default. JUnit dependency is created, but always I suggest you to go with the latest version. So just go here and search for JUnit, and you have JUnit search here. Click on this and click on the latest one. Here you have 4.12, but the system has given 3.8.1. So just update this version instead of this. Okay. So now once you're done with the first dependency, second one you need is Selenium Java. So basically these are Selenium WebDriver jar files. So just type here Selenium Java and click on the first one and click on this. See, you have 3. So we have seen for Selenium WebDriver version 3, you need to have Gecko driver, which you have already downloaded. So just copy this one and make sure you're not copying in between the dependency. It should be between the dependencies and each dependency should be separate. Okay, and I have added this dependency for which one? For Selenium WebDriver. And now the next one what we have is Cucumber Core, Cucumber Java, and Cucumber JUnit. Just come here and type Cucumber Core. You will have Cucumber Core here. Look for latest one, it says 1.2.5, and copy this. Similarly, you will need to search for Cucumber Java. Cucumber Java. Okay, Cucumber Java. You click here 1.2.5, download, and finally Cucumber JUnit as well. Okay, so all you need to do is just copy these. Basically what I have done is I already have the dependencies, so I'll just add those so as not to waste time. See, this is for Cucumber JUnit, Cucumber Core and Cucumber Java. So just copying those and pasting here. And I have for Cucumber Core, Cucumber Java and Cucumber JUnit, and I need to make sure everything is in between the dependencies. And one important note is make sure Cucumber JUnit, Cucumber Core and Cucumber Java, all these three dependencies have the same version. Here I've used 1.2.5 and save this. So basically pom.xml, instead of assigning the task to the project, whenever we execute the code, the respective functions will be imported from here. Now let's go back to the place from where we came into the pom.xml. We are done with the pom.xml now. Pom.xml is completed. Now we have a pane here. No, we doesn't want to write each and everything. If you want, we can go ahead and write the one. Say, no, first let me create a step definition class. It is a Java class, and as I mentioned, we need to write in the test Java. Here I have a package. Go here, click on class. Give the class name. You can give any name. I'm just giving step definition. And click on finish. You have the Java file here. And as I mentioned, if you want to write the code for this, what you will do? At the rate given within the double quotes, within the cap and dollar, just copy whatever is there here. Copy this, paste it here and click on enter, and now you have public void open underscore URL. I'm just giving the same name as the function name. I'm just typing here system.out.println in open URL method. We will actually do the implementation part, but just for the concepts, I'm just printing the print statement here. So here we'll have actual code for opening browser and hitting the URL to login. Here I'm getting one error. So just place on this, as you already imported or already as we have assigned the Cucumber jar, Cucumber JUnit in the pom.xml, it is suggesting me I can click on import this, or I can click Ctrl Shift O shortcut to have this. Now I can save this one. Once I save this, now see, even if I now when I close my figure file and open it again, have you guys observed here? The color highlight file open URL is gone, because when I hit right click here and go for find step, I have this step which is assigned. Right? I can right click or I can just double click and press F3, which will take to this. In the similar way, we have to implement for all these, but it is a pain point for us to write each and everything. So one way what we can do is just right click here and write run as Cucumber feature. Okay, so what we can do is, let me close this as well, and let me delete this as well, and let me click run as launching Gmail and launching Gmail. Launch configuration. Gmail application, not existing project. So yeah, let me go back here. See, I have mentioned it here. So basically what you can do is whatever you have here, just right click and run as a Cucumber feature. Then you will be displayed with these methods which are missing here. So first let me check why these are not displayed. We have feature, we have scenario, we have Gmail close, and launching has encountered a launch configuration. My Gmail app. Oh, the project name is Gmail application, but why it is saying Gmail app? Let me change the feature file name. Okay, so I think I was using the same name in some other project, some history issue. So all I've done is just renamed it. See, now when I've started executing this, it says you can implement the missing steps. First thing it says the scenario, two scenarios undefined and five steps are undefined. How many scenarios we have? Two scenarios, Gmail login and Gmail close. And out of those total five steps are there, four in Gmail login scenario, one in the Gmail close. So all these are undefined, right? It says you can implement missing steps with the snippets below. It is already given the step snippets. So smart way of doing is just copy this and paste. See here it gives for the scenario. You need to make sure you have the correct annotations. Enter password. Let me change. Yeah, I mean just to make sure that I'm not using the old ones. Fill user ID, fill password, hit on login, quit browser. I've just renamed the function names and start executing, run as Cucumber. Okay, see here I can copy all these and come here, just paste this, and whatever the unwanted one is there, just remove this. Comments and exceptions I will write based on my requirements, so I'm not going to keep the exceptions which is given. And so basically I'm removing all this and also remove the exception from here. Okay. Okay, and I also have the annotations here, right? Whenever I place on this, I'm getting some error. So you can click on import or you can click Control Shift 4 for those to get imported. And one thing you need to note is, see, here I have and, so make sure I have and annotation here, and for this I have and, so for this also make sure I have and annotation, and just import the and annotation and save here as well. See, now when I close my feature file and when I open array again, all the errors are gone, and whichever method I click on and click F3, it goes to the respective one. Here I'll write the lines of code to open browser, right? And here I'll write the lines of code to fill user ID. Here I'll write the code to fill password. Code to hit login button, and finally code to close the browser. We will go through these as well, but as of now just let me type the print statements and just see the framework execution, then we will come and implement the code. Okay, just I'm writing the print statements to make sure each of these are getting executed, and here I'll say in fill user ID, and next I have in fill password. Here I have in the function in hit login, and finally the code for hit browser. So now I have the feature file, I have the step definition, I have the form.xml with the dependencies, but I need to run these, right? I need to run, because in sometimes what happens is there may be couple of step definition files and couple of feature files. We need to execute those. So basically how you can execute those, that we will implement in the runner class. So basically runner class is where you will give the path of the step definition, you will give the path of the feature files. As I mentioned, this is also a Java class. Okay, here we will use two annotations. One is at the rate run with, and one more at the rate cucumber options. Okay, we will implement this as well. So first thing, let me go ahead and create a runner class. Right click here and just name runner class and click on finish. Now here in this, use the annotation run with. So if you're already aware of the JUnit, we have this run with annotation in JUnit as well. So basically cucumber itself, basically based on the JUnit, on top of JUnit the cucumber is built. Here mention as cucumber dot class, and just import this run with option. Along with this, you have something called as cucumber options. So within this cucumber options, now again import this cucumber options as well. So within this, you have to mention the path. It should be features is equal to mention the path of the feature file. So our path, it start within the project, it is from here src test java. As I have only one feature file, I can say I can give the complete path, but if you have a couple of feature files, you can give only till this folder, and the cucumber will take care of it. And apart from that, I also want the results. So Cucumber provides with various formatting options. So I have here format is equal to, and I say here two sections are there. The first section I say here pretty formatting, and the second section I say what kind of report I want. I say here HTML report, and I'll specify the location where it need to be saved. I say here target. Target is within my project folder. In the target, I'm asking to create one more folder called as reports, and in that folder I'm asking Cucumber to generate the results file in a pretty format and in a HTML report format. So this is a complete configuration of the Cucumber. So we have connections between these, right? Now whenever I run the runner class, it will go to the step definition. From the step definition, it will go to, it will go to the feature file. From the feature file, it will go to the respective step definition. While executing, as I have the web dependencies in the pom.xml, that will be loaded into the corresponding one, and each one gets executed. So as a first thing, now as of now we have just added the print statements. Let's execute this once, then we come back, we write the actual code, and we will see the functionality as well. So let's go ahead and run this as JUnit. I've just kept the print statements, right? It got executed here in the console. This is completed, and you also have the JUnit report for scenario 1 and for scenario 2, right? Each and every step scans are displayed. Along with this, if you observe here, still my target doesn't have any folder. Just refresh this and observe here, I have a reports folder which has some files. So let me go back to that. So let me go back to the workspace. How we will know the workspace path of the project? Right click on the project, click on properties, click on resource. See, this is the path you have. So let me click on run and go to the path location. In the path location, I have something called as target. In the target, I have reports which I asked or mentioned in the script to create. Within the report, see, it is 3:15, just before a minute while we were executing. Click on reports. Here you have something called as index.html. Click on this and you see a detailed HTML report with scenarios, each scenario and the next scenario. As everything is passed, it shows green color. If you have another feature, that will be displayed here, how many scenarios you have. So if you get a failed scenario here, you will get a red color highlighted for this particular line of step. As I mentioned, this is the basic Cucumber framework video. I haven't kept the failed scenarios as well, but in the upcoming videos, I'll talk about the parameterization and how to execute this, and how we'll handle the try-catch exception. Using the try-catch exceptions, we will handle the errors. Okay, so now let's go back and implement or write the actual code. Let me delete all these print statements, and let's implement small scenario of login and close browser, so that you will get an overall implementation of the Cucumber framework. So now, as we are using Selenium WebDriver 3.4, we need to have launch the Firefox browser using the Gecko drivers, right? So first I am creating a WebDriver object and I am assigning null and making this available public static, and I have imported the package. And in this open URL, all the code related to open URL will be here. As I mentioned, as we are going with Selenium WebDriver 3.4, we need to mention about the Gecko driver. So system dot, you have something called as set property. So within the system dot set property, here say WebDriver dot Gecko dot driver, and we need to mention the path of the driver here. So I have downloaded it in the D drive. So I'll mention E drive under Selenium folder. So I'll say here slash Gecko driver.exe, and to remove the special meaning of the backslash, I use double slash here, right? Now I kept the property. Now I need to assign this obj as a Firefox browser object, and I'll import the packages. So now after I have this, let me go ahead and if I want to maximize. So these all are the basic stuff. If you want to know more about this, you can refer to my other videos. And here obj.get, just enter the URL https://mail.google.com. Right after you open this, you need to enter the user ID here, right? So let's automate this one. So let me open a new Firefox browser. I have the Firefox, Firebug and Firepath add-in. So let me log out from this so as to be in the home page, and I click on add here. So this is the page which will be displayed. So let me go and spy this. I have the ID as email. So I'll write here obj.findElement by dot ID, whatever is mentioned or given by the developer, dot send keys of. I've created one Gmail account for Cucumber Learning. So @gmail.com, and after that I'll click on next. So this is the next I have. So I use here obj.findElement by dot ID, and I will be performing the click operation on this. So after that, I'm assuming it will take some time, okay, for the application to display the password page after clicking on next. So I'm just making sure to wait the application for 2 seconds. You can handle it different ways, implicit waits as well you can use, but as I mentioned, this video is only about automating using the Cucumber framework. So I haven't focused much on other concepts. You can refer to my other videos in detail for those. So now I'll say obj.findElement by dot ID dot send keys, enter the password, and click on sign in button, right? And okay, this is for entering password, and here I will hit obj dot. In actual scenarios, we will not write in detail every step for every action. We will not write individual functions, just as to show you the concept of Cucumber and on how we will implement. I took the simple concept and I'm separating those individually and I'm telling it, okay? And let me wait for some more time for the application to load the inbox. Excuse me. And finally, after the application is launched, then I will go ahead and I will close the browser. Okay, this is the actual code which we have written. So now let's go ahead and run this one more time with the actual code. Now it says Gmail login logout. It is launching the Firefox browser and maximize it. Fill the user ID, fill the password, click on login, wait for 5 seconds and then close the browser. The execution is completed and it took total 24 seconds in the console. And also here it has displayed with each scenario how much time it took for opening URL, for filling user ID, filling password, hit how many seconds. And when we go to the results, the target results folder as well, let's go back there. Go to run. I'm just going here, and when I go here, see the reports HTML, now it is 324, right? The reports folder is created at 315, but the index file is updated. All these files are for the recent run after we have written the actual Gmail login code in the step definition. So when I open this, I have the detailed report saying everything is passed. And if you have few more features, those can be added, the scenarios can be added here. So this is all about the Cucumber framework implementation, the basic stuff. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post in the blog. So the blog address is let me increase the font, and all kind of notes. I'll be first creating a document and also make a videos and upload. So it is www.itsqa.blogspot.com. Okay, and this is the blog I have. So this video also I'll be posting here. Once I upload into the YouTube, I'll post the link here. So I'll post somewhere at the top so that you can go through the video. Also, if you want the documentation, you can go through this as well. And please subscribe and give the feedback so that I can come up with the more concepts. That's all for this video. Thank you. I'll come up with the advanced topics and the basic stuff as well in my upcoming videos. Thank you.